I'm blanching tomatoes today, which simply means that I'll be removing their skins. Now, there's two separate ways that I like to do this, and both of them involve temperature extremes. The primary way that I like to blanch tomatoes is by pricking their skin with a knife and then putting them into boiling water. I allow them to sit for about 30 to 60 seconds before moving them to ice cold water. I wait until the water is boiling to add my ice to the water because it melts fairly quickly. I usually do about 3 tomatoes at a time, do my little slice on there, and put them in my boiling water. It's usually pretty easy to tell that it's done because it will start to peel around where your little slice was made. Once it begins to split like that, you know that it's ready to go out. Some of them take longer than others. The ones that are perfectly ripe seem like they do a better job. If it's a little bit of a green tomato, then it's going to be a lot harder to blanch. You see, nice little crack there. All right, and there too. And then you see that skin just pulls right off it. Super easy. I really like doing the Roma tomatoes because they don't have as much of a core at the top. You see this one's not coming quite as easily, but it's still a really easy peel. A lot of times the kids will help me with this. I think they kind of like it. And now I have a completely skinless tomato all ready to chop up. The change in temperature from the hot to the cold makes it so that the skin will just slide right off. I also have a bowl available for putting my skins in. I like to dehydrate them and then make them into a tomato powder that I can add into any number of things, including breads and soups, etc. The second way to blanch your tomatoes is actually by having them frozen and then just running them under the faucet with really hot water, and that makes it so that that skin just sloughs right off. It's a lot easier prep time and it works really well. The downside is that being frozen will cause the insides to be a little bit mushier. Now you could take your frozen tomato and place it directly in your boiling water and then pull it out and peel it. But I'm also going to show you how I usually do it. And actually that looks so great too. And the rest of the tomato is still frozen, but it will get a little bit softer over time. And look how thin that skin is. I mean, it doesn't take off any of the actual tomato bit. Our other option is to run the water to really hot and just go right underneath it. And it splits that peel, splits the skin so you can peel it. And then I have a garbage disposal, so I can just let it go right in there. But of course, then I can't use it. So that's another way, which of course, then you don't have to boil any water. Since this is a bigger tomato, I'll still have to core it. So in summary, it's just the extremes in temperature from hot to cold or cold to hot that make it so that that skin will come right off. The pluses and minuses, when you go hot to cold, there's a little bit more prep time. You have to get your water boiling, but it maintains the integrity of the shape of your tomato. So that works really well if you're going to be doing, say, salsas or something like that. But if all you're doing is sauces and you don't care about the shape because you're just going to be cooking it down anyways, then the frozen will work just as well. As an alternative, you could also just use a food mill anytime that you're going to do a sauce, which is kind of my preferred way of doing things. And then you don't even have to worry about taking the skins off.